go. All right, everyone. How's everyone doing? Getting a lot of requests for my hair down for some reason. I don't know why, but running a little bit behind. Thank you for your patience. Welcome to Sacred Connections. It's kind of like a series that we do. It's a weekly thing. How this kind of came about is, I have a lot of beautiful friends and beautiful mentors out there, and it's really important that we tell our stories and tell how we got to where we are, got to where we are, and spiritually, emotionally, that kind of thing. And it's really important that we get those messages out, and it's really important that we talk about our journey. And our journey is really about those sacred connections. Is what we talk about all the time. It's really about honoring, finding, keeping those connections. That's really the rub. So I kind of digressed. I'm a little kind of off right now, but let's start the usual way. Let's start. Let's bring the one of those questions. Again, I'll start. So it's kind of like one of those questions is that we do. Is like, why do you play the flute? One is nuts. Two, this is the standing nation. Standing nation is grounding. This is a cedar tree, again, a very sacred and beautiful tree for us. So, when we allow the standing nation to lead us, we're allowing that medicine, that they grab, that they have and they hold and honor, to ground us too. That's why we do that. So let's begin with the let's begin in the usual way with some beautiful music. So. Again, all right, so my name is Wayne William Snellgrove, Soto Tribe, Fishing Lake First Nation, Saskatchewan, Canada. My spirit name, Soto spirit name, is Standing Bear. My other name that grandfather Tony gave me is Morning Eagle. And for you traditionalists out there, I got my first spirit name without knowing that I was attached to any other tribe. So hence there's two. Very honored to be carrying both medicines and both prayers. That's why we have That's why we have our name is the medicine. That's what I'm saying. So, very honored to carry to have to hold both their sacred names. So let's light as per usual. Let's smudge the area. Smudge the area. You're having a smudge going on. Let's get that out there. And today, like I said, we're talking about, we're talking about sacred connections and what that is. And that could look a lot. This is kind of a series that I started that we really wanted to talk about other two-leggeds and how they came to understand, walk with, create those sacred connections. And we've had some really, really beautiful guests, and I'm really working on quite a few more, actually, both from All Roads too. And what we're talking about today is plant medicine. And plant medicine is really, what is it? There's a lot of misnomers out there. I was going to talk about it last week on a podcast, and some technology glitches happened, but then people were commenting and questioning, when are you going to talk about this? And I kind of put it out there, so it's kind of already out there. So so let's so I said, so saying a word prayer about that, and let's talk about that. Let's talk about what that is, what that beautiful, powerful medicine is. Well, let's open up in the usual way. Again, sorry for being a little chaotic. There's a little chaos this morning. So anyway, let's kind of relight this. And I got this from Crystal out there. So thank you. Got a smudge bowl. So let's smudge. So take a little tobacco. So open up in the usual way. Again, I'm asking for permission to speak for the ancestors, and part of our ancestors is not only the two-leggeds, but it's also those lives or spirits that come before us, and sometimes their spirits, often there's times, are plant medicine. So I'm asking permission right now to speak for the plant, from the plant nations, to do that in a really, really good way, in a really beautiful way. So Creator, Kitchimanitou, Megwitz, thank you. Okay, it was on to me. I love you. We love you. Come here today in a good way, Creator, to share some of your medicine to our circle, where we mean no harm in what we do. Today we the prayer is that to talk about their sacred grounding medicines, their sacred grounding, the sacredness of the plants, and what they mean. And so again, we come here only with the best and highest intentions for everyone here, inside and outside the circle, even to the future generations, where we know this medicine will go. So again, thank you for allowing me to speak for you, and in a good and beautiful way. Plant medicines, if I fall short, please accept my apologies, for I do not know very much. I understand that your medicine, your plant medicine, is very, very, very beautiful and very powerful, and I understand that I know very little, but what I do know, I will share in a good way with our circle. So thank you. So it's very important that it's so important that when we share, when we speak, especially when we speak for others, that we offer that tobacco, which happens to be plant medicine. So let's talk about that for a minute. Let's talk about the tobacco offering. And I know what everybody's thinking out there is like, they can't wait to that one medicine, and that's okay. But tobacco medicine, what is that? For you new people out there, it is one of the four sacred medicines. It's cedar, tobacco, sage, and sweetgrass, and every one of those aligns with a certain place in the medicine wheel. Most medicine wheels. Tobacco is used to again open up that door to the spirit world, to the unseen. It is a way of giving thanks. It's a way of gratitude. And what it really does is really just kind of opens up that door to, it's really heart medicine too. We come right down to it. It's really heart medicine. So, it goes from my heart. I offer that. And it goes from the heart of the tobacco straight to mine. And so, when we do that in a good way, really with no intent, then it really helps with, the hollow bones, what we talk about. It really opens up that beauty, that flow, everything that sometimes I struggle with. It is, it really just opens up that door. Plus, we do it as an offering, as an asking too. When we don't offer and we just ask, it's just a one-way street. It's just a one-way street. Hey, it's kind of like the Santa Claus God. Hey God, the cosmic, the cosmic bellboy. Hey God, I need this over here right now, and I need it right now. I need a better lover. I need more money. I need a house. I need. But you see the energy is kind of there. And that's what the kind of the colonial world has really gotten right now. It's kind of like asking without offering is stealing. So we really want to be mindful. We really want to be mindful about offering in a really, really good way, a really good, healthy way. Hey, this is today, and hey, please have pity on us because we don't know a little, and we want to know more. Please help helping the people. Please help us understand. Please help guide us. We fall short in so many ways. I mean, you could offer tobacco all day and it wouldn't be enough. Let's try to get to that. Offering too much instead of really just kind of asking. So every time, and one of those things is, I can remember. Probably 30 years ago when I first started this Red Road journey, this Red Road walk, it really was about kind of, I didn't understand the power of it, We don't really understand the power of it until after practice, years and years of doing it, and then we don't do it, And then there's that big empty void there. Like if we don't do it, then it seems okay. What is okay is not okay. But once we've done it for a little while, and it took me years to really feel and understand and really get my prayers focused. Again, we're talking about focused prayers here, focused intent. Spirit works with intent. Spend the spirit of intent, as Don Coyes would say. It really, really works with that. So, without that, so I guess about 5 years into it, I was at a ceremony. I forget what it was, but Grandfather Tony was there, and I've been really diligent with really offering that tobacco. Again, really not feeling a whole lot, but like I can remember that one day, I got like a panicky kind of thing because I said, oh my God, I don't have it, and so I was like, oh man, I mean, I eventually got some tobacco, made that offering, but that's why I'm saying that tobacco was really waiting for me, waiting for it to develop that beautiful, relationship to it. So. And again, that's kind of the theme of today, not only sacred connections, but sacred connections, but also just building, understanding what that connection really is. Everything is spirit. Everything is absolutely spirit. Everything that has spirit, everything that has life has spirit. and so we have to honor that, and all the tribes and all the nations, and not just the two-leggeds, all their sacred circles out there, they understand the power of that connection. It's really the only group that really doesn't understand it are the two-leggeds. We fall short so often, and so that's kind of our journey, is to really build those beautiful, powerful connections. It's the plant nation is medicine, and it's given to us for free. Our job is to protect that medicine. Our job is to build a relationship with these medicines. Our job is to know the medicine, know the plant on a spiritual level, an unseen level, to hear those plants sing, to hear them talk, to hear them whisper, missing them when they're not there. We understand when somebody passes on and moves away, there's a void there. But the same thing happens when we build that relationship with medicine too, and it happens with the plant medicine, the plant nations. So that's what we're building and understanding, that their sacred connections. What is someone just asked me, what is a sacred connection? What is that? Well, sacred connection is it sounds self-explanatory, but it's really just a deep understanding and relationship, a deeper understanding. It's kind of like knowing your neighbor and just being like, hey, what's going on? But then really getting to know your neighbor, what his story is, what the deeper, where his people come from, where his nation comes from. All these things are questions that the plant nations are really asking us right now. So anyway, that's kind of like the preamble to what's going on. I'm going to tell a story, a little bit of story time, and it's really about let's talk about Hayawaska. That's plant medicine. Let's talk about Hayawaska. Let's talk about rapé too, which is a South American medicine. It's made into tobacco. It's the main ingredient, but there's some other ingredients in there too, and they poop it up your nose. They go kind of like that, and they shoot up your nose, and it's what is it? Let's talk about those good relationships with it. There's a misnomer. There's a misnomer out there. How should I put this? Okay. There's, let's just take Hayawaska for me. There's a lot of Hayawaska practitioners out there. They charge a lot of money. And those that charge a lot, one of those things that I do, that I look for, is for those practitioners to have a good relationship with the medicine. There's a lot of like eBay, Hayawaska, and like Amazon Hayawaska, and all these medicines that come from all different directions. Someone goes to a 30-hour class now they're able to hold that ceremony, and they call up Amazon and say get a big bottle of Hayawaska. They know a song or two they learn from YouTube, and then they go charge an exorbitant amount of money for these ceremonies. But the real deal is those people that really understand the medicine, those people that understand, create, honor those sacred plants. They have built that relationship with that plant. I was in Ecuador. I'm going to switch to rapé now. I was in Ecuador probably a couple years ago now, maybe 3-4 years ago, and there was a couple that administering rapé, and of course I asked, hey, like, where do you know this? And they went on to say that the family that made the rapé has been in association with that particular plant seed, that plant genealogy for over 100 years. You know, so for 100 years, 5 generations, that family has been sitting with that one plant. So they're building a beautiful, beautiful relationship. What would happen to us if we were able to build that relationship over 100 years? What would that look like? What would that be? You know, you know. So what would that, you know, you know, again, it's like the two-legged trying to be friends with each other. What do? Well, you spend time with you sit. So these families, these medicine people, have been sitting in with this one seed, generational seed of tobacco for over 100 years. That is the sacred connection right there. That is the sacred connection. That is the most beautiful connection. I want to spend time with you. I want to know you. I want to hear you. I want to understand your voice. I want to hear you sing. I want to see you dance. All these things. This one family knows about this one seed, this one plant for 100 years. That's what we're talking about right here. And they developed that. And I wasn't really a rapé guy before that. I didn't understand that. I'm not about to do rapé from Amazon type thing. I'm not about to do rapé from eBay. But there's guys out there, there's women practitioners out there that do that. And really, this is that's something else, man. I don't want to judge them, man, but I think greed might have something to do with that. Again, I don't want to judge. I have my doubts about their motives. As Leonard Crowdall would say, gently said, I have my doubts, I have my doubts, And, I just putting that out there too is like, and someone said, honoring the roots. I love that, Joanne. You are freaking awesome. I love that. You said what I couldn't say. So basically what I'm saying is, literally the roots of the plant, for generations and, generations. Thank you, Joanne, for saying that. And thank you. I love you. And so that's what we're really, really talking about. Let's go to Hayawaska. Let's move on to Hayawaska. The same thing. 2 plants come together. That creates Hayawaska. So, again, we really want to find those practitioners that have the families that understand the nature, the exact nature of the plant. And they sit with it. And they want to get to know you. And you want to get to know them. And how do you do that? You make offerings. You sit with them. You love them. You listen to them. We're talking about sacred listening all the time. But, sometimes we get caught up in oh my God, just the two-leggeds, man. They're the only ones that talk. And that's really not true. Everything that has spirit has a voice. We know that. And we know that this voice is medicine and has a song. It's medicine. Not only the root, like the extract itself, but the real sacred connection is building that understanding, listening to their sacred songs. Listening to sacred songs. Okay, I just got pinged. So let's talk about, and I've seen it somewhere online. And there was like a high school somewhere, and it had the same plant from the same family. These are the plants, just so you know. These are the plants right here. So, and then in the sign of one of them said, speak kindly to this plant. And in the other one, it said, speak angry, loud, curse at this plant. So over a course of, I guess, a semester or a quarter, I don't know what they use these days, but over a semester, the quarter, and apparently the kids were really into this, and they said, "Oh my God, you are so beautiful! Look how beautiful you are! You're so lovely, so green, so powerful." And to the other one, they said, "You mother this, mother, and God can't be so ugly. God, how could you do this?" It's kind of like that. And what happened at the end of the semester or quarter was, one plant was like this, and like the other plant was like this. One was growing, one was growing. So so the colonials got it right. It's a clear indication that the plants respond to the good, and they also respond to the bad. But what I'm saying is here, they're responding to the connection. Responding to that beautiful, beautiful connection. And you want to talk about sacred, talk about sacred. If you're going to talk about being sacred, talk to those plants, talk to the plants and as being sacred. Talk to the plant as being sacred. Listen to what they have to say. So someone just said what's going on with Hayawaska. Okay, so so Hayawaska, I know very little about this, but I know a little bit. So if that makes any sense. So Ayahuasca is kind of considered, it's a South American medicine. The North American medicine would be grandfather medicine, which would be peyote. And, really what Ayahuasca is, it will show us, it won't heal us. That's the great misnomer. But it will show us what needs to be healed. Again, spirit, Mother Nature, so far advanced. We live in like a pharmaceutical world where, I need to take this medicine because I need to be healed. And I don't want to do the healing, but you're going to do the healing for me because I need to be healed. And not only, I'm not going to make an offering to you because you need me to, so that's the kind of superficial, artificial, commercialized, kind of world that we live in right now, whereas really it's so far away from, what we just talked about, is building, again, those sacred relationships. We want to build those sacred relationships. And so, I've heard of people going to Ayahuasca ceremonies, 3 times a week, spending $500 a pop, kind of thing. Almost makes me want to like administer Ayahuasca, but it's kind of like, and really what's my understanding and what's really been told to me about grandmother medicine, it's really that's the only medicine that actually calls to you. It will call you, it will literally come to you in your dream. That's how powerful grandmother is. And if grandmother wants something, we all know that one grandmother, very, very upfront, very forward, very gentle, the velvet hammer kind of thing. It's the same thing in spiritual realms too, and in plant realms too. So that plant medicine, the grandmother medicine, as it's often gently referred to, will call to you. We have a lot of spiritual tourism out there, and that's what's really kind of generated, the industry of the Hayawaska pharmaceutical kind of thinking thing, that like the more I do, the better I'll be type thing. It's really, I've never done Hayawaska, but I've sat in, been very honored to hold fire and hold space for those, for one ceremony, maybe 2 ceremonies, the ceremony, and even grandmother medicine grabbed me. I didn't take a drop, and grandmother medicine just grabbed me, by the short hairs, man, and it was a beautiful, beautiful ride, There's really one guy that I would like kind of send people to, and that would be him, right down there, because he's Bolivian, but he has his shaman comes out of the Amazon, and that's the family that has been with that particular plant for over probably 100 years, sitting with, like real authentic, a real authentic connection. That's what we're really looking for too. Plant medicine, so let's fire it up. So again, we're interested in, and these are questions that we have to really pray about. Do we really want a relationship, like a deeper relationship with like a medicine like ayahuasca, and people ask me, Wayne, should I do this? Should I do that? And I'm kind of like, well, it's kind of like not for me to say. I can't. I don't know your heart. I don't know your intent. I don't know your level of availability. Like even if grandmother medicine comes, I don't know how you're really going to be available to that. Even really, and what I'm talking about is really able to listen. Again, it goes back to really, really beautiful, simple things. And so one of those things is the art of really listening to what you need and what the plant medicine really kind of has to offer. So that's something that we really have to take a look at. It is kind of like, okay, this is what this plant has to offer. Let's go sit with the plant. Let's go pray for the plant. Let's do these things, and then see if this medicine is right for us. Not all medicine is right for every individual. And just because you feel like being a spiritual a tourist doesn't make it right either. You're going to spend a lot of money and have something that's, like if you do, and what I'm really talking about is there's people that do it for recreation, So the intent, again, and I have to touch on this, the intent, it won't work if the intent is not right, because grandmother medicine already knows. That's how smart and powerful grandmother is. It's kind of like trying to trick grandmother, man. I mean, how many times, I tried to trick grandma. It never worked, man. Never worked, man. She always knew somehow. She said, Wayne, there's a cookie missing. I'm like, nope. Grandma, I know what we're talking about. Nope. Wayne, actually, I'm counting. There's 3 cookies missing. I'm like, nope. That wasn't me. That's not my right hand. No. But, I got busted, So anyway, the plant already knows if it's going to be helpful for you, and again, a lot of people come to me about this plant medicine stuff, and most of it's spiritual tourism, and they usually say, what, just pray about that more, and if it's really screaming, if I get pinged or something, hey, just don't. Let's not be messing with this, man. It's not your time. And rarely do I say that, but it's just kind of like, cause, I'm not here to guide you. Like, if you're going to make a mistake, man, just, and spiritual tourism is like really just a really dangerous way to make a mistake. It's really dangerous because if you see something you're not ready for, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that information? Especially if your intent is to be healed and not to be shown what you have to do to, get healed. Again, we have to get out of that pharmaceutical kind of thing. Right now is not fast enough right now, and you need to heal me because I don't want to heal it. Kind of heal myself. That's kind of where the genesis of the industry is. It's like, oh well, good, I get a new plant medicine. You can like guide me, or you can like heal me. Like even though like my heart is broken, it's ripped open, it's sitting on the floor, and grandmother medicine, just pick it up, patch it up again, and put it back in, and I'm gonna be all right. Not the way it works. And let's go over to there's what time is it? Okay, not doing too bad. So let's go over to peyote medicine. Peyote medicine, grandfather medicine. Again, actually I've never been in peyote medicine, so I don't know a whole lot about it. Actually, I think I have been in Ecuador. Actually, I think I was. That's in there. But I never took it. I never took it. The guy there, like even if I was interested, the practitioner there, we never want to talk about like kind of these practitioners, but we really, that's something that we have to take a look at. The conversation always has to be on the table. Again, what is this guy doing? What kind of energy is he giving? Did he make the medicine himself, or did he buy it from eBay? Did he learn to make it on eBay and not just find the materials? And did he make it or no? We have to look at all this stuff. We have to look at really what the intent is. We really, really have to look, and we have to ask ourselves, what is this? And 90, like I get a lot of requests for those tourists out there. Hey, I'm getting peyote. Where can I do this? And I said, what are you talking about? Tell me. I'm interested now. And oh yeah, man, I'm gonna take some peyote, man. I heard it on Young Guns 3 when Chavez man took the peyote. He said, "I'm gonna take a trip in the spirit world, man. I'm gonna take a trip in the spirit world, man. I'm gonna be all right, man. I'm gonna be okay after that, man. Everything's gonna be all right. The wife's gonna come back, the kids are gonna come back, the car and the job and the money, that's all gonna come back after that." And I'm sitting there thinking like, I don't know if I can help you, man. I don't know if I can help you, because spirit of intent, goes back to spirit of intent. Are we ready to really take that big long look, that big long breath, and then so anyway, let's and here's the one everybody wants to talk about, good old marijuana initiative and like all that, again, I'm with you, man, I'm with you, again, we're talking about intent, spiritual intent, what is this and what does it look like, have we had an issue with drugs and alcohol type thing? Probably not a good idea, to do that, are we, again, we have to be really, this conversation has to be really, really gentle and really, really authentic, Are we doing it just to kind of escape? It's kind of like, kind of take a trip for a couple hours or 15 minutes, whatever that is. I never smoked marijuana a whole lot, man. I never did. I couldn't tell you anything about it. But do I want to go on that trip for, I guess, 10 or 15 minutes, whatever that is? Or am I really interested in really building an authentic relationship for healing purposes? Are we really, am I doing that? Am I really going to do it for healing? Have I made that connection with, with the plant itself? Have I made that beautiful connection? So, again, that's something that's on an individual basis. We have to offer tobacco again. We have to do the thing again. We have to sit with them again. So, again, it's kind of the same procedure over and over and over again. So, let's keep talking about plant medicine. Thank you I love you all, by the way. So, let's keep talking about, plant medicine, and here's some other plant medicines that I'm getting to know right now. It's salad, but again, it's the same thing. I have to build a relationship. I have to be thankful and grateful, and just, part of my offering in the morning is saying thank you to all those things that nourish me emotionally, spiritually, physically, and mentally. It's part of those prayers. It's building that good, beautiful relationship. And building a beautiful relationship is about practice, and honesty, truth. What am I going to, so I'm building a relationship, a brand new relationship. Many of you don't know, I had a heart attack last month. Many of you don't know is I had a heart attack last month, and they said, Wayne, you really got your triglycerides are up here, your things up here, your sugars, are way up here. We don't know how you're even living. Your stroke, your blood pressure, your stroke's way up here, And I said, okay, and had a little heart-to-heart. Cardiologist had a heart-to-heart with me. I'm like, yeah, I do fall short quite a bit. I really do. I love my food. I love my my cookies and all that. So I have to build a new relationship with these sacred medicines, which are, is very simply, tomatoes and all this other stuff that comes from Mother Earth. And that's another conversation that we have to say is that all these medicines come from Mother Earth. And part of that prayers of being thankful and grateful is we have to thank Mother Earth for everything that she provides. She everything has a price. There's consequences for everything that we do, and we forget that, especially when we thank. Consequences can be good too. Good consequence. When we're thankful, the medicine works better. Hey, what would you do to a person that was really grateful and thank you? You would help them out a lot more, and that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. It was kind of like, oh God, you know what, I'm just, no, I'm not going to build that relationship. Like how willing would you be to help someone out who's not willing to build a relationship with you or even have a conversation with you, And also, Mandy, I can hear you out there too. So let's talk about let's talk about how all these things happen. Let's talk a little bit about that beautiful, beautiful process. And my friend Mandy, she's beautiful. She loves her bees. She made me fall in love with bees all over again. So that's part of the process. It is with building that relationship with plants is really understanding where they come from, how things get pollinated and stuff like that. Wind do a lot of good things, but the bees are the primary force behind, again, those pollination type thing. And so again, we should be so if we really want to be grateful and really build that beautiful relationship with those plants, whatever it is, it's really somewhere the bee nation should really be included in those. That's like that's like saying prayers for your family, but not like your mom and dad type thing. So it's really kind of like that. It's kind of, well, something huge is missing. Something huge. And so building and honoring, creating that relationship is every aspect of that relationship. And that's really what the medicine wheel really tells us, is to really understand the entire process. So we want to learn that beautiful entire process of building that sacred relationship with the medicine, really figuring out what we need, talking to spirit, say this is what we need, and really being guided to what's out there. There is, the pharmaceutical industry is really kind of destroying the plant nation because it's free, it's free, So, they're going to say, they're going to do whatever they have to do to, create, a market for their product. So, and we kind of got to get away from that, but we really, and it really just takes, it's really colonial thinking. Hey, we don't want you to build a relationship with the plants. That's colonial thinking. We don't want you to build a healthy, listening, honoring, sacred relationship to these plants, but we want you to buy this bottle of $50 pills for us. It will cost us 17 cents to make, but we're going to sell it to you for $150. That's with insurance. So, it's kind of like, again, someone said, I got a beautiful note this morning before today's live. We're talking about re-indigenizing, and that's really what we're doing right here is really, we never want to decolonize. That's the wrong direction. That's like anti-war. It's kind of like anti-war. Guess what? It brings more war. So let's not decolonize, brings more colonization. But let's re-indigenize. That's really the rub right there, is to re-indigenize. And it's not re-indigenize the plants. The plants never left where they were. It's re-indigenize us, our spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical being. It's really indigenizing, building those beautiful and powerful, relationships with those powerful and beautiful plant medicines that are begging for us. I spoke about this in one of the, got a bit warmed up right now. I talked about that in a couple of meditations ago about connecting, about connecting, and like how do we do that? So that's really what we're doing here. Talking about, that sacred listening, what we mean. So this is kind of the way it looks. Let me paint you a little picture. And again, this is just kind of like a general overview. I mean, I could talk another 3 hours about this, but kind of keep it to about an hour. So we got some time left. So, it's about building, what do we need, what's out there, what plant is out there. You see, Grandfather Tony, people ask me all the time, oh, what plant do I need for this, that, and the other thing? And I don't really know. Like, I know a few things, but it's, like my medicine is really Grandfather Tony's medicine and his medicine before them. And I know a little Soto medicine, but that's not really what I carry. It's not really the bundle that I carry. The medicine bundle is what's gifted to me, and what I can do is like pipe, a couple ceremonies, and that's really kind of about it. But the general answer is always to pray, to listen, both things we really forget to do. Where do we start? How do we start? Well, let's come to ceremony, let's sit, pray, listen. Sit, pray, listen. I'm going to write a book about sit, pray, listen. That sounds kind of like, like how do we do that? It's just kind of like, like if you want to really build that relationship with something, sit with it. Sit with it. Say I wanted to build a relationship with this eagle feather. What would I do? I wouldn't put it across the room here, over there. I would sit with it and say, oh God, please, part of the reason why we sit and pray with it before we do that, because we want to be really guided, and again, we're talking about humility and really being guided and really asking the plant, are you right for me? It's just the thing. It's just, again, it's just what we can do to, heal me type thing. Okay, so I'm just trying to talk more about the four sacred medicines. Okay, what time is it? Okay, we got a little time. So, again, the four sacred medicines. Four sacred medicines represent, and this is kind of general, like a general kind of teaching too. Every medicine wheel, every tribe has a little different. So I'm not telling you what's right, what's wrong. This is not really that discussion, but it's really about the medicine itself. Again, we talked about tobacco earlier, really making that tobacco, and the story goes behind that. The first Council of Life creator brought all life together, all nations together. All like the standing people, the winged, creeper crawlers, the slytherins, the winged nation, the fish people, they were all there and said, we need something to help us connect to the spirit world. And what happened was, the Grandfather Tobacco raised his hand and said, I will be that conduit from this world to that world, from this world to that world. And so one of those beautiful things is, when I'm in ceremony, when I'm leading, get the honor to lead, a sweat lodge, one of those beautiful teachings that Grandfather Tony taught me was that we visually, when we toss something in the fire, we visually see that transition from physical to spiritual. It's also with the pipe ceremony. And, we put the kinnick or, the red willow bark, we physically put it in there, and then we smoke it, or we put it in the fire, and we can watch that transition. We watch that transition into spiritual realms, So we already know it's so with tobacco, we can see it transition from the physical to the spiritual. That's how, that's how we know. So let's talk about sage for a minute, and we got some time. So sage what sage does, what it does in the physical world, it also does in the spiritual world. So what we know it does in the physical world, it actually cleans the air of bacteria and microorganisms and viruses too. So viruses. So, might be a good time now to do a little extra smudging, by the way. Just saying, not saying, pharmaceutical companies call me up after the show. So we already know it does that. So what it does in the spiritual, what it does there, it also clears the space of negative energy. That's what it does. It clears, and the beautiful thing is, and you empaths out there know that wherever we go, there's always some sort of self that imprints on us. It could be good, could be bad, so it's really good that especially, we feel a lot, and, we don't have to absorb a lot, but if you notice, I'll be smudging several times during a talk or a teaching or a ceremony, something like that, because I have to keep kind of re-smudging. Yesterday's smudge doesn't help today. So it's one of those things, and again, we want to be thankful. I place my tobacco at the altar of, the sage, in the morning. Say thank you. Thank you for saving me. Thank you for all those beautiful things out there that you saved me from, including myself. And so, so cedar. So again, every tribe is a little different. So this is because their relationship with the medicine, it could be a little different. And this is not, again, about right or wrong type thing. This is not about running, oh, Wayne, you're wrong. Oh, no, and then he's wrong. Oh, the Cheyennes are wrong. Oh, those people on Rosebud, they're wrong. No, we're not saying that. We're saying that, the plant will speak to that elder in which of the way the people need. So, with that understanding in a general way, cedar works for smudging, but it really has to be a really focused smudge. Really focused, intent. I misspoke. There has to be a really, really focused intent. The intent is, kind of like, let's try it out. I actually don't have my medicine bag with me, but, okay, so, we're asking the white sage here to cleanse the area. Cleanse it. It already knows what to do. We don't have to say it, but it's polite to ask. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Hey, smudge over here. Smudge over there. Hey, that person was over there. Let's smudge over there a little bit. We all know. We all have that someone in our life was saying, when he leaves, I'm gonna have to smudge that area. We all have that. We all have that person, man. We have that too. There's always someone, man. I carry smudge in my car just in case, man. Just kind of like, So, but cedar, has to be really, really focused. It will do what it's told to do, but you have to be really, really specific. Whereas this is really kind of like a general, kind of like just cleanse the area. Cedar kind of works like this, and again, it could be physical, emotional, spiritual, or mental. And just. These medicines don't know any doors. People that know doors are the two-leggers because we put them there. We put them there. Kind of think, is there an afterlife kind of thing? Well, like we already know. We already know, and the ones that listen already know. There's a door we've got to go through, and that's kind of it. It's just the next room. Kind of thing. When I transition, I'll just go to the next realm. So we have to create that understanding. We have to know that, the medicines don't know any doors. It's not like it's not like the sage is going to be like, okay, well, you know what, I'm going to clean you physically because you really need it, but, I don't know about know if I'm going to clean you spiritually. It doesn't do that. It automatically knows. It knows what to do. So we don't have to explain in the medicine what it already does. And so that's it's kind of like a misnomer too. You see that a lot on like the red road. You say, well, kind of cleanses for me, which is kind of polite, but it's kind of unnecessary too. So cedar, really, really specific. Cedar. This is, please cleanse this. Please cleanse the water. I use it a lot. I ask the sisters to bless the water, and I use the cedar, and I ask them to pray sacred feminine with sacred feminine. In this situation, we wanted to mirror each other, sacred feminine with sacred feminine. So we wanted the sacred feminine to bless the sacred feminine, and so a really clear, beautiful way to do that is with cedar. So, put a little, you pray with the cedar, and then you offer it to the water. It has to be very, very direct. One thing, one shot, one-on-one, kind of thing. Sweetgrass, the hair of, let's see what time is it? Oh, God, it's 2 minutes late. Okay, 2 minutes to go. Okay, so, sweetgrass, the hair of Mother Earth, the other sacred feminine, the hair of Mother Earth. It's you again. I wish I had that with me, but it's kind of over here. But again, it's braided. There's a couple of different ways to braid. Usually, it's grandmother medicine too. So usually the grandmothers know how to go out and harvest it, and when they harvest it too. Again, with these sacred medicines, especially the buffalo sage, the prairie sage. The eagle sage, prairie sage, it's all kind of the same thing. There's a certain time of year and day and time on that day that is harvested. When the sun is highest, in a kind of general way, when the sun is highest, when that energy is completely to the top of that medicine, that's when that medicine is most powerful. Let's just take buffalo seeds. The tribes in the Midwest, like Oklahoma and all that. Sundance. They use a lot in their ceremonies. By us, we have rain dance. We use a lot of that in rain dance too. So again, those grandmothers, the grandmothers know when to, pick the medicine. It's very, very important. We pick it in a really, really good way. Again, we want to make that offering. We want to be very grateful. Again, because we're killing a plant. And so it's be really, really gentle. With that, it's kind of like when we take the willows and make it build a sweat lodge, like we frame out the sweat lodge. We have an entire ceremony for offering, because we're taking life, and we're taking life for the preservation of our life, So the plant is really making an offering to help us stay alive. Would you do that for another? Would you be willing to lay down your life so a whole other nation could live? Wrap your mind about that. How powerful is that? How powerful is that? So when we ask the Willow Nation to, we're going to take your life to save ours. But here's tobacco, here's prayers. We're making offerings to you. You're going to be turning the womb of Mother Earth. You're here to save all life, not just ours. You're here to celebrate life, How would you be willing to do that? Would you be willing to do that at all? We're not just going out there and cutting willows. We're not just doing that. That's like the misnomer. And we're just taking without. Again, taking without offering is stealing. We go into those unhealthy realms, and when we go into those unhealthy realms, it's kind of roll the dice type thing. We don't know what to Hopefully something good will happen, but you know, I've seen things, you know, some really bad things happen, you know. So again, we really want to do it. Grandfather Tony ringing in my ear right now. Just be gentle. I hear his voice. Tell him to be gentle. Tell him to be gentle. Okay, all right. So be gentle. You know, be gentle. You know, when you make your offerings. Be timely when you make your offerings. Be timely. You know, when you make your offerings. Do it in a good way. Don't hurry. Don't take the back. Okay, this is for you. There, I throw it away. No, that sounds completely missed the point. Here, you know, it's kind of like what we did. Okay? Just sit with it. Take the prayer and just kind of sit with that and just just pray with that. Just pray with that. You know. So, okay, I kind of run over. We kind of started a little late, so I think I'm okay. Kind of keep this to about an hour. So, there's so much. Oh my God, I could keep going. I could talk about teas. I could talk about all this other, we could actually use the medicine for the healing properties of the specific plants, that I know about. So anyway, thank you for your time. Again, we didn't cover a whole lot, but we covered a little bit. Thank you very much. I love you all. Again, we're trying to get a couple two-leggeds here next week. Next week, I think we have Sandra on. Sandra Rivers is going to be on. I'm trying to get a couple others too. A couple elders that are up there too. I'm not going to drop any names, but kind of working. I'm offering that tobacco though, so we'll see. We'll see what's happening. So anyway, I love you all, and let's just close out with the Standing Nation and see what their songs. Again, it's the same thing with the drum behind us. There's an elder that said, who starts the song? And then a lot of people said, oh, well, I start the song, Again, we need to be a little bit more aligned, this is Deer. So the Deer Nation starts the song. And then right here, you can see right here, again, the Standing people, they're number 2 in that song. And then the Beaters, this is not the beater, but pretend it's a beater. And then the Beaters, so the Standing Nation, again, another cowhide, horsehide, and then they would be 3 and 4 in the nature of the song. So we're really the last in the long line to even hear the song, so it kind of flows through them to us, and we're kind of the last ones that really kind of sing it. So again, thank you to the Cedar Nation that really brought us in today, and they're going to take us out in a good way. So whatever that looks like, whatever it sounds like, we want to be really, really grateful for the Cedar Nation, the Standing Nation to come and join us today. So. I sing that song. So anyway, guys, everyone out there, I love you so much. If no one told you that they love you today, I love you, and so so thank you. Thank you for joining us again. Sacred Connection is really really beautiful. Actually, we're trying a different platform for this Sacred Connection too, because next week, so it'll run a little smoother. Um, so anyway, announcements. Let's just kind of close with announcements. So so at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every morning on the weekdays, I do a morning meditation, and I usually go over Daily Medicine, which is a book from Creator. Through me, Hollow Bones, and then we also go meditations with Native American elders. Also, we don't go over that quite as much, but going to try to hit up that a little bit more, kind of be guided by different Red Road nations. So that's really really beautiful, and we do that every morning at 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. on the weekends, so we can sweep in a little bit. So so yeah, and so I think it's going to be story time again this Friday. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time too. So, my elder knows 800 stories, and I've been with him about 30 years. I think I know about 30. I tell him all the time, man. I'm like, kind of wishing that I listened a little bit more, man. It's kind of like one of those things. I'm kind of embarrassed to, I mean, I can laugh about it now, but it's kind of like, how do you know 800 stories? That's like, I can't even wrap my head around that, But those elders, man, that's what they do. So, anyway, I love you all, and looking forward to seeing everybody tomorrow at 8 a.m. and then again on Friday. Put that in your little notebooks. It's gonna be story time again. So again, very, very, very beautiful. Thank you for holding this beautiful space for me here, and honoring myself and honoring those ancestors and those plant medicines that those spirits that really came through today too. And probably I'm getting pinged again. We're gonna do this again. With plant medicines. A little way down the line. I'm going to take a few notes about what I covered here, and then kind of go over the more medicinal kind of purposes of kind of individual plants. And again, comments, questions are welcome here. So please put them in the feed, or private message me, and then specifically for the plant medicines. So I'm using you to be guided for the circle. So that's how this works. So I love you all. Let's have a great day. Love you all.